of the Americas, right? Hold on. Zoom this back down. Alright, for all you guys that's talking this Jesus or whoever was here in America before the Europeans came here. Let me read something to y'all. I'm going to show it to you. So if you want to screenshot it or whatever and read it for yourself, that's fine with me. Hold on, let me pause this and clean my screen. Hold on. Alright, here we go. Let me see if I can get this thing to come in a little clearer than that. These phones is crazy. Alright, well, here we go. Let me read this to y'all. Religious. What is this? Peripheral Nalea above that had a distinctive Micmac style developed after most of the Micmac were converted to Christianity by French Catholic missionaries in the 18th century. So this stuff didn't come to the 18th century. This is this picture right here. Altarpieces in particular were, what is this? I can't really see the word. Elaborately decorated, as in this petroglyph example, carved in slate at McGowan Lake in central Nova Scotia. Look at that. Okay, so they didn't start doing this until the French and them came. The next one, you see this one? You see the cross, right? Listen. A hidden painting. Here, I'll show it to you. A hidden painting on the right. On with this. Commemorating a late 19th century Sundance. Commemorating. So this is a late 19th century Sundance, right? Participants gather around a large Christian cross as Christian beliefs and rituals spread through Indian communities across the continent. They were often integrated into traditional ceremonies as one of the hosts of powerful forces that had to be respected. Do you hear what that just said? Integrated. We didn't use this mess. Hold on, let me see what else I got for y'all. Hold on. This is Tenochtitlan, right? Tenochtitlan, whatever, I can't say these words, was one of the most important city-states of ancient Mesoamerica. The Aztecs believed that the huge pyramid temples, such as this one depicting images of the gods Quetzalcoatl and Tualac, were burial mounds for the gods and giants. Just want y'all to look at this. This is a jaguar mask. It was something I wanted to read to y'all. I gotta find it. Let me find it for y'all. Oh yeah, y'all can look at this picture. All melanated. Look at that. Look at that. You see that, right? All of them. Headdresses on and off. Just to show you, I think it's this one. Yeah. They call this Devil's Tower. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Okay. Devil's Tower, Wyoming, known as to be the Lakota as Matio. Typalia as drawn people to it at least 10,000 years ago. You know they lying. It figures in the mythologies of the Arapaho in Cheyenne, Kewalo, Sacs, and other regional tribes. In ancient times, the Great Mass volcano rock provided shelter for practical and spiritual needs, and gave hunters excellent view across the Bell Forge Valley. Its rock-strewn flanks are now important sites for vision quests and other personal rituals, while the surrounding grasslands are the setting for the sun, dances, and other significant tribal ceremonies. This is the one I wanted to read to y'all. Ceremonies forged the link between the land, human life, and the creative nurturer powers of nature. In this representation by Zaya Pablo, artist of the mythical corn ceremony, a broad leaf of the plant shelters drummers who sing sacred songs, while dancers under the life-giving rain offer gifts to the creative essence above the sky. You hear that, right? Hey, I want to know, where's that joint I was reading? I was reading something, y'all, and I don't know where it's at. I think it was this. Alright, so this right here. I think it is this. Yeah, spiritual life. People of all cultures define the world as they experience it, so their mythologies must account for what they see. Every part of the landscape has the potential for spiritual identity. This is often literal. High places are close to the sky and the remote gods. Caves provide entry into the earth and its hidden spiritual forces. Other less dramatic places by objects involved in mythological events only have meaning if a narrative survives. All material things have spiritual potential, from tiny stones, worn down in the bird's gizzards, kept by some tribes as powerful medicine. You hear that? This is why I wear my stone. Not for, it's connection. It's a connection to the great trees used to construct ceremonial lodges. Moreover, many cultures, every living thing harks back to a time. This is what I want y'all to hear. To a time when all creatures spoke with a common voice. All creatures spoke with a common voice. Back to where I told y'all going to be able to hear the trees and the animals and pursue similar social lives. The mythological age is not lost in the deep past defined by science, for Aboriginal concepts of the time are both linear and cyclical. Linear, as the steps and stages of the human life, in cyclical as the generations that renew all life, and the where's that? And the oh, excuse me. Wait a minute, no, that ain't it. I hate when these joints break off and you can't find where it starts back at. Oh, here it is. And the earth itself. This endless spiral means that the past never recedes into the distance. Even the time of creation is only just beyond the reach of the storyteller. The mythological narratives of a culture are thus an eternal present, renewing social identity with every telling. Native North Americans once shared the most ancient of patterns of life, moving from place to place, following the seasonal shift of nature to gather wild plants and hunt game. And the religious beliefs and mythologies of hunters and gatherers reflect this. Their search for spiritual knowledge and understanding was seen in terms of a journey, a quest for a vision that took them away from the protection of their familiar surroundings into a natural world containing the mysterious forces that brought life and death, famine and plenty. When centuries of harvesting native plant species gradually developed into a formalized agriculture sparked by the spread of corn, maize from Mexico, while over 2,000 years ago, some people adopted a more sedentary life. These horticultural groups adapted their belief system to the rhythms of lives spent in one place and measured by the structural routines of planting, tending, and harvesting corn, maize, beans, squash, and other crops in gardens and fields, unlike nomadic hunters and gatherers who, through personal quest or with the help of shamans, gained access to the spirits whenever they moved. Farming people most often focused their worlds in the ceremonial centuries of their villages, enclosed by a familiar landscape, and tended to develop organized priesthoods and religions. You hear that? European invasion. I'm going to read this real quick. Immediately after the first contact of the Europeans in the 1700s, the introduction of their trade goods and domesticated animals to cultures reliant on natural substance, such as stones, bone, plants, fibers, and clays, had a dramatic impact on the North American culture. Horses, metal, glass, firearms all seemed at first magical and then essential, disrupting cultural routines that had taken centuries to develop when white soldiers, mercenaries, traders, and settlers followed. They set in motion what was to become a devastating and irreversible process of social disintegration that had a disastrous effect in tradition, except for those in the remotest forest regions of the North and in the Arctic. Almost all tribes were decimated or eliminated by force. Damn, they telling everything. Ain't that? I told y'all. But we know most of it wasn't. Most of the white people were slaves at first, and then they started, doing what they was doing. Well, I'm not gonna say slaves. I'm gonna say hired indentured servants. But yeah, they are the ones that really destroyed everything. All right, decimated, eliminated by force of arms or disease, and distracted from their traditional hunting and gathering or farming economies by the fur trade and the lure of European materials goods that it brought by the mid-19th century. They had been driven from the homelands to distant reservations. These new lands were generally infertile, rugged, and remote, with little perceived economic potential to the Europeans. Yet farming and farmers were meant to raise crops on the poor, often arid soil. On many reservations, and individual tribes were forced to cohabitate with others, speaking different languages, following different traditions. They were assaulted by governments intent on destroying indigenous culture through Western education. The substitution of English to native tongues and indoctrination in Christianity, which included systematic attempts to eliminate ancient religions. Like I said, they forced that on you. So if they forced it on you and they took and wrote books from your glyphs and your your copper tablets and everything, you don't think they added their little God in, so where it says Jesus, it could have said David. You know, like when y'all reading certain things. Like, y'all gotta use your brain sometimes, y'all. Think about it. It don't make sense. But let's keep going. The cultural dissonance was intense. Because native people held concepts of land use and property of time, of the nature, of the world itself, that were dramatically different from those of white people. When Sioux and Fox chiefs plied with lavish gifts and liquor, signed away their lands in Treaty of 1804 for a meager sum of money. The great Sioux chief Black Hawk explained his actions thus: "My reason teaches me that land cannot be sold. The Great Spirit gave it to his children to live upon. So long as they occupy and cultivate it, they have the right to the soil. Nothing can be sold but such things as can be carried away. Only on the northwest coast, where families and clans held rights of virtually and aspects of life, for myths to selfish beds. And among some northern California tribes did hunters and gatherers regard land as property. The absolute loss of land was inconceivable to most chiefs." So you heard him say the Great Spirit gave it to his children. Now go ahead and say you ain't the children of the Most High. Go ahead. Just say something stupid like that. Just say, we're all the same. Yeah. And somebody died for us, but these people are here taking everything from you. But he died for your sins so they can live better. And you can go through what you're going through now. And been going. Okay, go ahead. Believe that if you want. Even when they actually signed it away, American Indians were also baffled by Western concepts of time. The rigorous segmentation of life into equal fragments imposed a strange and different rhythm on that responded the mathematical logic rather than reflecting the changing patterns of nature. You hear them, they said different rhythms. What is the different rhythm? The different frequencies. These people move on a different frequency. They're giving them some strange math, and they already had a natural math of the Most High, his math, not their math. American Indians drew their identity from the intertwining of the natural world around them and the spiritual world that was their philosophy, science, and whatever, and no religion. We know that. From the reservations, the view of the spiritual and I gotta turn the page. And physical world was not the same as it had been. Traditional sacred sites and landscapes were the very foundations of tribal culture were no longer accessible because they were on white-controlled private land. They knew what they were doing. They knew there's certain places that we would go to get that connection with the Most High. So they took it. But he died for our sins so that we can have a better life. Yeah, right. Where our life is better at. Seemed like he died for their damn sins and not ours. Because we going through it. They ain't going through nothing. All right, what was I at? All right. Many elders and keepers of traditional knowledge were among the staggering numbers that died following the move to reservations. Others lost touch with ancestral roots as a result of the pressures of assimilation. And many younger people were unable to maintain their cultural identities. By the mid-20th century, mythologies and narratives and rituals that made them vital reflected this dissolution of cultural integrity, surviving in many places as half-remembered fragments of or disappearing altogether. Now you know why you don't know your history. This is why, because they broke us up and stuff. Those people on the reservations that say they are us, but they're not, they know who the hell they are. They can trace their whole lineage back. And the one they stole. You see that? Alright. There were some groups among whom the strong core of native beliefs persisted. Some occupied lands unattractive to whites, such as the Arctic and subarctic interior mountain regions and the deserts of the Southwest. Some maintained a relative independent economy, including a few of the seagoing cultures of the Northwest coast. Others retained significant land bases within their traditional homelands. Ultimately, as the environmental awareness began to strengthen in the second half of the 20th century, Aboriginal philosophies of respect and sensitivity to the earth and its resources rose to prominence. In this atmosphere, the newfound respect mythologies were no longer quaint stories of disappearing cultures, but ideas and beliefs that made a direct connection between human life and the surrounding world. The depredations of 400 years of domination by Western culture. What I just say? Domination. I did not say we all the same and we're working together because he died for everybody. Yeah, right. They are here dominating, destroying, and taking. By Western culture had left an indelible mark. Nonetheless, the new reverence of these ancient mythologies inspired spiritual regeneration, rediscovery, and recreation of the knowledge. Should I say that again? Rediscovery and recreation. This is why you don't know who you are, because they recreated who you were and said, oh, we are. That was almost lost. The growing cultural strength of North America First Nations continues to this day with new native narrative forms, literature, theater, and electronic media. Ooh, these people lie so much. Growing besides the traditional art of storytelling, visual arts, drama, and dance. This new vision look forward at the same time respecting traditions and recalling lessons of the past. They inspire, as the ancient elders did, the realities of the present for the sake of the future. You see how they sat here and just told you they returned back to our past and took it over and said, and pretty much they're doing what we do, but in a wicked way. And then they say they are. Just to show you how messed up these people are. Alright, I wanted to show y'all this part. Alright, so this is the other book I got. This book is Ancient North America, right? I showed y'all in the car with my other video. Alright, I wanted y'all to see this. So it says, Ruse on his team found a hidden stairway in the Temple of Inscriptions. The Temple of Inscriptions. See, I told you. Like I said, they worked for 4 years to discover where it led. Alright. I'm going to read this little small part, and then I'm going to read what I want y'all to see, and I'll turn the page. But Ruse wasn't looking at the inscription. He was looking at the floor. Someone had drilled holes into one of the slabs in the stone floor. Ruse had been studying the temple for years, but he had never noticed the holes in the floor. They made him suspect that the stone slab covered a secret chamber hidden below the floor. Maybe ancient Maya workers had drilled holes to string rope under the slab of rock. Then they used the rope to lower the slab into place. After the discovery of the secret passage, Rue's team worked for 4 years. When the workers lifted the slab, they discovered a steep, slippery stairway underneath. It was filled with rubble. Ruse had to remove the rubble to get down to the stairway. After the bottom of the dark stairwell, 90 feet, 27 meters, below the floor was a tomb. Inside, hidden for more than 1,000 years, was a skeleton of a Pakal. The great Pakal was a Panikuz, I can't say that word, the most famous ruler. Never before had archaeologists discovered an ancient Mayan king buried. Okay. Out of the dim shadows emerged a vision from a fairy tale, a fantastic sight from another world. It seemed a huge magic room, carved of ice, the walls sparkling and glistening like snow crystals. Then my eyes sought the floor. This was almost entirely filled with a great carved stone slab in a perfect condition. Yeah, but we didn't know nothing, right? So this is the room they're talking about. See the walls? This is the slab. You see the slab? Look at that. But you see what they'll do, right? They'll lie to you and tell you something else. Beneath the large stone slab, Ruse and his team discovered a stone coffin. Inside was Pakal's skeleton, buried almost 1,000 pieces of jewelry. So they stole all that. The Jade Mass, see that? Look at that, a mass of jade. The jade burial mass lay on the face of the body of the tomb. The mass is made of individual pieces of jade, shell, and stone. Yo, these people, they ain't nothing but thieves, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Researchers have not figured out the purpose of the tower raising above the Palenque's palace. Visitors can walk around the ruins in the rainforest in Mexico. I don't know, y'all, but guess what? Hold on, y'all. Let me pause this. Hold on, y'all. Alright, y'all. I just wanted y'all to take a look at this. So it's something like the other book I had. But you can tell they melanated people, you know. You know what that is. The same as the, well, theirs is round though, but listen. I'm looking at this, right? And I'm reading Ezekiel, but it's another one. I got a better picture. And it's talking about outer gates and inner gates. I'm gonna have to show y'all this, John. Like, alright, look at this picture. See this? But the one that I'm reading is talking about six cells to get in. It's like an inner gate and an outer gate. I would have to I'm gonna have to show y'all, but I just want to find. Look at that. I think this is about with Montezuma, right? Yup, this is Montezuma. Look at that. They got the actual painting of him too. Well, we know this motherfucker wasn't white. I'm sorry, he wasn't. Montezuma were about the legend of Quetzalcoatl, about above during his reign. This image of Quetzalcoatl was created in the 16th century when Hernan Cortez arrived in 1590. So they did that. Okay. Montezuma thought he was the feathered serpent. Cortez is shown below, meeting Montezuma. He thought who? When Montezuma thought he was the feathered serpent? Oh, he talking about Quetzalcoatl. Well, I guess that would be idolatry if you're thinking somebody else is. But there's no way that he thought he was somebody different. That's bullshit. Excuse my French, but that man, like, come on, man. During the rule of Montezuma II, word about a legend. It warned that one of the main Aztec gods, Quetzalcoatl, and the god of the sky and creation, would return to Earth and take control of the Aztec Empire. Wow, that's the scriptures right there. But what they doing is, you know what they doing? They sticking Joshua, because you know Joshua's Quetzalcoatl, but they trying to say Joshua is the Most High. But okay, let's do it again. So, during his rule, Montezuma II worried about a legend. It warned that one of the main Aztec gods, which we know the Most High, let's just say the Most High, the God of the sky and creation, the Most High, would return to Earth and take control of the Aztec Empire. Right. Although Quetzalcoatl meant the feathered serpent, stories said this guy had white skin and a black beard. Well, you know what they did. You know what they just did. That's bullshit. Who arrived from the sea. You see what they be doing, yo? So, wait a minute. This is what I'm talking about. Clearly says the God of the sky and creation. But it's talking about he gonna arrive by sea. You see what I'm saying, y'all? Yo, man. In 1590, they put that in there. In 1519, Montezuma thought Quetzalcoatl had arrived when Hernan. Yeah, he already knew who they were. You see what I'm talking about? He knew. The Most High already told them that he's going to send these people to do this to him. So he just didn't want to fight against it because he knew he had no win. The Most High was backing him. They're like, yo, man, they something else, ain't they? They is something else, man, with they mess, man. This man ain't no bigger than him. Like, yeah, all right. And then you read the other. I put a video up one time where they chased their behinds out of the city. So you telling me you just saw your guy run with his men? They haul ass out the city because they was about to get it. The people rose up against him. But that's his guy. He gonna run from me. Like, get out of here, man. They think they stupid with it, man. They do some crazy stuff, y'all. Like, these people lie so much. Look, they built Mexico City over top of Teotihuacan. That's crazy, man. That shit they do. That's just why the Most High gonna tear it all up. You need to. Like, they just came here and ruined everything. You know, they destroyed everything, y'all. Let me see this so I can see this, y'all. I wish I could see this. I don't know what's up with this phone with this blurry stuff. Oh, shit. Oh, my fault, y'all. I had my hand on my knee and I had my knee up high, like, you know, on my toe, and it started shaking. Yeah, I know what I was looking. I'm gonna find it because I know it's in one of these cities. That city, well, we gonna build the city, so that right there, like, look, I'm gonna show y'all in the scripture where it says that we gonna build the city. You know what I'm saying? It ain't say nothing about no damn temple coming out the sky. Right here, the new temple. On the 10th day of this month, beginning the 25th year of the exile, 14 years after the city had been taken, that very day, the hand of the Most High came upon me and brought me in divine vision, to the land of Israel, where he set me down on a very high mountain. On it where there seemed to be a city being built before me when he had brought me there. All at once I saw a man whose appearance was that of brass. He was standing in the gate holding a linen cord and a measuring rod. So what the hell are y'all talking about? A city coming out of the sky made of gold with streets of glass and all this and all that. Yeah, in Revelations, because that's what the hell did this just say? A city being built before me. A city being built. The Most High took him in the future. He took him in the future, in the spirit. He took him in the future. He saw us building the city. The city was being built, rebuilt. It was not coming out of the sky with golden streets. That's what it is. I'm sorry. You see that? This right here kills that whole Revelation thing. Because when you go all the way through, you know, because you got all the gates. You got the east gate. You got the outer court, the north gate, the south gate. You got, hold on. Yeah. And then you have the restoration of the temple, the return of the Most High. Then he led me to the gates which faces the east. And there I saw the glory of the Most High of Israel coming from the east. I heard a sound like the roaring of many waters, and the earth shone with his glory. The vision was like that which I had seen when he came to destroy the city, and like that which I had seen by the river Chebar. I fell prone as the glory of the Lord entered the temple by way of the gate which faces the east. But spirit lifted me up and brought me to the inner court, and I saw that the temple was filled with the glory of the Most High. Then I heard someone speaking to me from the temple, while the man stood beside me. The voice said to me, Son of man, this is where my throne shall be. This is where I will set the sole of my feet. Here I will dwell among the Israelites forever. Never again shall they and their kings profane my holy name with their harlotries and with their corpses of their kings. So that king they found buried in the temple, their corpses of their kings, their high places. When they placed their thresholds against my threshold and their doorposts next to mine, so that only the wall was between us, they profaned my holy name by their abominable deeds. Therefore I consumed them in my wrath. From now on they shall put far from me their harlotry and the corpses of their kings. And I will dwell in the midst forever. Ever. The Most High is going to come down. Come down. It did not say Jesus, my son. He said, I'm coming to dwell with them. Not some young boy that I have no idea who he is. Come on. Come on, y'all. Come on. Come on. Really? Wake up. Y'all sleep. Y'all taking naps, man. It's time to get up. And stop loving that idol y'all love so much, man. Y'all love that John, man. You know, Isaiah keep talking about y'all worshiping the dead, man. You say it so much. You know, I'm going to look that up for y'all in my next video. And I'm going to make sure I really, read that to y'all. Because he tells you worshiping a dead man. But y'all don't care. Oh, here, let me show y'all this. That word say. The temple building, right? That's the temple building, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought I just read too. Yeah. Yeah, it's being built, not coming out of the sky. And it surely don't have Zeus sitting on the throne. It tells you who. Let's go get it. It tells you that David will be your king forever and ever and ever. Yeah. Don't it say that? Yeah, I remember it saying that. Here we go. Let me just start at 21. Right here. This is Ezekiel 34:21. And I'm going to go down. I'll tell you the verse that it's at. Because you pushed with side and shoulder and butt with all the weak sheep with your horns until you have driven them out. I will save my sheep so that they may no longer be despoiled, and I will judge between one sheep and another. I will appoint one shepherd over them to pasture them. Oh, this is Jesus, right? Yahushua or whoever. My servant David. Let me say it again. I will appoint one shepherd over them to pasture them. My servant David. Here, let me put that over there for y'all so you can see it. Okay. I will appoint one shepherd over them to pasture them. My servant David shall pasture them and be their shepherd. And I, the Lord, will be their God, and my servant David shall be prince among them. The Lord hath spoken. Did you hear Jesus? No. Did you hear Yahushua? No. Did you hear Yahushua, or whatever the name is? No. I heard David. That's what I heard. Did you hear that? Yeah. And there's somewhere else it says David's name again. I can't really remember, but it says it. Yeah, y'all. You know, it's just funny. Yeah. Hold on, y'all. Sorry, that's me up on my toes again. Okay. Yeah, my servant David. My servant David. My servant David. You see nothing about somebody coming on the cloud saving your asses. It says, my servant David. He says, I will appoint. It did not say he's coming on a cloud to be your king. Nope, it says, I will appoint. Appoint. Sorry. I'm looking for it. He says, my servant David. Not, I'm going to send my son to come save you. He says, I will save you, and I'm going to appoint my servant David. My servant David. My servant David. My servant David. That's what it says. It says, my servant David. Oh. Is this where it is? Hold on, let me see. Hold on now. Hold on now. That's not it. Hold on, let me find it. Because I know it's in here. If I can't, oh, back.